Okay, we're making great headway here. Look what we have, class. We just about only 4 spots left. We had taken that, I did another coat on that green yellow. It just reinforced that pigment more, so that really helped. And now I'm going to try to finish off this side here. So I've got the green, and now I'm going to go for a blue-green. So again, I usually start with the kind of lighter color. Of course, we had this green already mixed, so I'm going to go ahead, since I won't be using it anywhere else, I'm going to go ahead and put that blue in there. And this way we can really come up with a nice blue-green that stands alone from the others. We got to make sure that it has its own weight, so it's not interfering with the green we have mixed. You can see where, that green here, it should be a little bit brighter, which I'll put a little bit more, touch more yellow in there. But what I also do a lot is I put 2 tabs next to each other to see, what direction it's heading. And you can see right there, class, to make a blue-green, you can see I need a lot more blue. It's really lacking in that, even though it hasn't dried yet. So I'm going to take that, put that right in there, so it really goes to that side. And again, you just have to have patience. Again, I always say, put on some nice music and just, relax a bit and get into that zone. I find it's easy to try to mix all the colors at once, because once you get in that color mixing zone, it really helps a lot. So I feel very confident about this color I just mixed. It's actually got a wonderful weight to it, and it's definitely going to fit into my blue-green era. Now, I just noticed that my green's getting a little dulled out, so I'm going to take some of that same color and just a little pinch and add that here. Take a little bit of that out, and then add a little of that to my regular green, just to give it a little lift. That's why I think on some of the main tones, try to keep them separate in your tray. Yeah, all of a sudden this gave it a nice little burst of color. And you can see, it's not even dry yet, but you can see there's definitely differences in here. So, I had the 3 of the tough ones left. Let's see where we were with our purples. Okay, so you can see right here, I was going to switch this to a red violet, it could almost work, but it definitely needs a little bit more red to it. But I'm so close to that I'm going to do just that. I'm going to just put red in there, and I'll start my violet separately, because I think it really needs to be almost a perfect match right away. Otherwise it gets into mud, and we don't want that. Yeah, so again, it's starting to get into that red-violet zone. It could still use a little hint of blue. So again, as long as you keep washing your brushes, you can dip them, but just be careful with that, okay? And I a lot of times go right over the chip I just did. Yeah, and I'm gonna give that a go, because I think it's really red violet. It's close enough. Oh yeah. And also remember, class, as important as getting the right color, it's also equally as important as what you put next to it. So a lot of times colors change drastically when you put another tone next to it. So something like these purple tones can look a little heavy, but when you put a different tone next to it, they take on a whole different meaning. And again, these are tertiary colors. These are in between, the secondary colors, and then there's tertiary colors that are in between the primary and the secondary colors, okay? So I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm going to go after, we have a little visitor here with 4 legs. He come out to check out the situation, hoping that he has something to eat, but no luck. Um, okay, now I'm trying to go after that purple. And again, I'm going to just add more of that blue. Blue to that. It'll kind of give it a little kick, which it needs. Now remember, as you can see from this, yeah, there we go. It takes it out of the brown family and it definitely starts going more into the violet, okay? So again, a lot of times when I do the color wheel, I'll put the color down. Because if you use gouache and watercolor, you can easily paint right over it, okay? So sometimes if my shades are working pretty good, I want to keep that, okay? So the last one we're going to do now is blue violet, which you know right away, you got to make use of that blue. So I'm this time going to start with the blue because you can see where it's definitely slanted towards blue. So I'm starting with the blue and now just putting my little hint of red in that, okay? You know, so I had mixed a lot of these colors in the palette, so I was ready to go. Now here we go. Hopefully it doesn't turn into mud, which I have a feeling is starting to. Yeah. Way too red, okay? So I'm going to go hit it again. I'm going to take the blue right out of the tube this time, and I'm going to hit it with that so we can get this one completed. I got to tell you, purples are really, really tricky. And again, certain colors are going to be trickier for some people than others, but it definitely, and look how beautiful this blue-green, this is all looking pretty good. I could probably lighten this just a hair, but I think it's still drying, but those colors came out really good. See the differences in hues now? You can really get the feeling of that. Okay, this did the trick. It's got a lot more violet in it now, so it can definitely read blue-violet. So I'm going to mix that right into my little space here. It looks nice against the blue. What I'm also going to do, just because these are deep tones, you certainly want the ones next to it, even if they're a little bit lighter, you want them to be all the tone that they can be. So I'm definitely going to hit this blue here. See, it's a little touch, almost like watercolor. I'm putting a nice shade of blue right on top of this. Okay? So there you see it, class. Again, it's going to take practice to get some of these tones. Sometimes you take a little break, go back and fuss a little bit more. I think we hit those pretty much on the nose. But again, once these dry, that'll be telling. Okay?